Before I start my speech, please do me a favor. Imagine you found the person you want to spend the rest of life with. You're completely in love and want to get married, but you can't. You're not allowed to. You don't get to have a wedding reception, no vows, no walking down the aisle. You are also denied the legal rights that come along with marriage. If a lover gets sick, you are unable to visit him or her in hospital because you're not his or her spouse. And talking something worldly, if he or her dies from the illness, his or her possessions will go to a distant cousin because you aren't married. It sounds unreasonable, but these are the hardships that some homosexual couples will face every day. There are many arguments based on prejudice and misunderstandings that disapprove same-sex marriage. However, when we talk to marriage, love should be the only factor that matters. So today, I want to speak for why homosexual marriage should be legalized. I'll begin with I'll begin by discussing the first point that holds against the same-sex marriage, that is, homosexuals can't produce children. Yes, homosexuals are unable to produce children. However, the main purpose of marriage is not to get children. Couples get married because they love each other, and they are willing to be responsible for each other. They want to share their life, no matter good or bad, with their beloved ones. Wanting children may be one of the purposes. However, there are still some heterosexual couples who don't want to get children in their marriage. Besides, the elder and the patients of infertility also can't produce children. Can we inhibit them from getting married? The answer is definitely not. Hence, it's apparently that we can't inhibit same-sex marriage only because homosexuals can't produce children. Besides the inability of producing children, people oppose same-sex marriage because they think homosexual parents will raise homosexual children. However, there is no direct indication that homosexual parents will raise homosexual children. According to a book, Gender and Families, written by Scott Coltrane, a study conducted with 25 children who were raised by homosexual parents and 20 children who were raised by heterosexual parents. The study concluded that 6 of those 25 children are homosexuals, and all of those 20 are heterosexuals. Even if there are 6 children who are homosexuals in a homosexual family, there is no proof if there is any relation between the homosexuality of those 6 children and their parents' sexual orientation. It's a well-known fact that our science now cannot explain the reason why people become homosexual, as well as we cannot explain the reason of heterosexuality. Today, we also cannot explain the reason of heterosexuality either. Besides the scientific study, I want to share with you a real-life example. Zach Walls. You may not know him, but the clip of his speech delivered in the Iowa House, which defends the same-sex marriage, has more than 15 billion views on YouTube. He is raised by a lesbian couple, and he is a straight man. Actually, scientists don't count homosexuality as a sickness. and they said it is as normal as rain. If it is something normal, then there should not be any reason to be considered for the possibility for children to be homosexual. Another reason that people against same-sex marriage because they think that children growing up in homosexual family are unable to succeed because they lack a male or a female model. Nevertheless, when we take a look at the heterosexual family and their children who are well-adjusted and successful, we can conclude that those children are successful because their parents' sexual orientation. Good parenting and good relationship within the family don't depend on the parents' sexual preferences. According to if we assume that children brought up by only a male or a female parent will fail, how about children growing up in a single-parent family? There are still many successful people brought up in a single-parent family, such as Lance Armstrong, J.K. Rowling, and Barack Obama. As a result, we cannot inhibit same-sex marriage because they don't have both a male and a female model in the family. There are many other arguments that disapprove same-sex marriage. However, same-sex marriage should not be banned because of the gender, because love is love. Love knows boundaries. Love doesn't care if the two people are the same genders. Therefore, I hope after the end of my speech, I don't hope all of you can approve the same-sex marriage, but at least you can be open-minded and tolerant toward this issue. Thanks for your attention.